We are Western Uganda biggest radio station, 91.2 Cruise FM, great music. Great friends, it's 7 minutes past 9 o'clock. Good morning, my name is Wesige Banyaji. We are online and on air. Catch us on www.cruisefm.com/stream and on all social media platforms, 912 Cruise FM on Twitter, 91.2 Cruise FM on Facebook and Instagram. We are Cruise TV for TikTok and YouTube, and that is courtesy of Creative Dictum Media. We're streaming there so you can be able to view the television and just tag along and enjoy the show right here on Plot 12 Muti Lane on Boma Hill, right in the middle of the land of milk and honey, Mbara City. With me in studio is already a very mamaring group of old men. So, but nevertheless, we're going to be into a topic of discussion. UPDF retires 93 senior army officers. We saw the UPDF command team flagging off these people that have been able to serve our country with diligence to go into retirement. The deputy CDF called on them to really now retire from serving the country and serve themselves. But there are reports that have been made that UPDF and police officers, once they retire, they literally lose their lives. They have no source of livelihood. Even the pension that is given to them is not enough. So they look like they are ill prepared for that. But we only pray that they get back to their families and catch up with the time that they've lost in the barracks. If you're a person that comes from the Rwenzururu Kingdom in Kasese and the Greater Rwenzori, you must know that your king, Charles Wesley Mumbere, is set to return to Kasese after 7 years. Of a ban from the kingdom. So, you know, the president and especially government really had an agreement with King Wesley Charles Mumbere, the king of the Rwenzururu in Rwenzori, after what happened in 2015, where his palace was bombed by General Ereru now, and people lost their lives in there. There was a court battle for him and his loyals, but it went into negotiations with government. We are happy now that the people of Rwenzururu will be able to, touch base with their king. Bus operators strike over back user fees that amount to about 2.4 million annually, but later on called off the strike after meeting with government. That kind of caused a breakup there in transport, but we only hope that all that goes back to normalcy. Police relaunched the Operation Fika Salama that is intended to improve road safety. Motorists will be issued with fines and a jail term. If at all you go and do drunk driving and you're overspeeding, you're doing a lot of reckless movement on the road, Fika Salama is back. You'll be dealt with by the Uganda police force there. Now, President Museveni proposes, this has not happened for the very first time. The president has always made this call, and it's a genuine call, even when it has negative ramifications. President Museveni proposes a ban on importation of second-hand clothes. So you that wear the mitumba, like it is called in Greater Tanzania and Kenya, the mivumba here, mitumbi, I think in Rwanda, the president is saying, I think we should put a stop to that so that we can be able to encourage our local manufacturers in the textile industry. How many jobs will be lost? That's between the president and the planners to find out. Now, queries about the Russian company that was awarded a tender to do dicto number plates pits General Jim Muhwezi, who is the security minister, against Internal Affairs Minister General Kahindo Tafile. That's already a controversy. We saw General Kahindo Tafile, who is also the Minister of Internal Affairs, interface with the Committee of Parliament. And he said he literally has no clue of the Russian company. He doesn't know who is behind it. He has never seen any documentation to that effect. 912 Chris FM is where we at. I'll put a question on what you think about the preparedness of the different political actors as we gear up to the 2026 general elections, and Facebook is the same. Please drop me a line. I'll be able to read some of that feedback. But later on the show, you join the conversation on 752-912-912-910. The big seat kicks off. My name is Wesige Banyaji. Let me welcome the team and we get into it. Musa Kwatan, say good morning and welcome to the big set.
Good morning, my brother Banyaji, and good morning to my comrades here in the studio and to our dear listeners. First of all, I also join my fellow Ugandans to congratulate Mama Janeti and President Museveni for reaching this far, celebrating they have called it the Golden Love. We congratulate you, and you have been a role model in very many aspects of life. And me personally, I am inspired by the family and by the way you have groomed your children, because the sons and daughters of the president, we have never seen them in the newspaper. We have never seen them.
Only one. Only one has been a controversy.
No, seeing them on newspaper or on radio like this or TV in a bad image.
Yes.
Or in any scandal.
I think we should commend the president.
That credit goes to the parents, and it opens the eyes of all Ugandans that parenting is very key if you want your children to be successful in the future. Thank you, and I wish good deliberations to our comrades here and good listening to our listeners outside there.
I should also let you know that if I told you not watching Cruise TV, Musa Kwatanese is wearing a green beret with Hose Kinergabo on the face of it. That's so you know. Good morning, my good friend Asimu Ebanjizi, who is a member of the National Resistance Movement and a big affiliation to the MK movement. Good morning.
Good morning, my dear brother Banyaji, my fellow panelists. My brothers here, this one is my OB match as is a roast sheep in Noop.
Yes.
And Musa, we are in the same team, MK movement. We proudly associate with it. Once again, I appreciate His Excellency's firm stand on the ban of importation of second-hand clothes. At the start, it might hurt us, but honestly speaking, we need it if we are to boost our industrialization process or if we are to walk that talk.
But Mr. Banjizi, what comes first? Is it you first planning on setting up the textiles and making sure that these are available, or it is now the ban that comes first?
No, procedurally, I don't think it will take immediate effect, because I believe there are some things that have already been paid for that are in transit. Then another thing, Banyaji, which is a concern to me that should seriously be addressed, would be this nonsense of banning second-hand clothes imports, and you find instead of supporting our local manufacturers, people are importing from China, Dubai.
Because it's very likely
that
the local producers may not be able to meet the demand. So, and now you will have to import from China.
So that's my concern as well, that should be addressed. Then on the same note, I join all Ugandans wherever they are to once again congratulate His Excellency and the First Lady. It's a big milestone, 50 years in marriage. It's not a simple thing with the current trends, and giving them credit for playing their role as parents. Because parenting in this modern age, and either you are a parent, we are all parents here, maybe Musa, and my mother-in-law that has just walked in, it's not a simple thing. The stakes are so high, and we must play our role as parents to guarantee that we properly mentor and nurture our offspring to become responsible citizens.
All right, well,
on the big seat.
Welcome, Asimu Ebanjizi. Yes, my friend Peter Mpaka, Red Beret, People Power, Our Power. Good morning and welcome to the big set.
Good morning, West J, and good morning, our dear listeners. My name is Peter Mpaka, a member of the National Unity Platform. And West J, I'm so perturbed when I see these two gallant members celebrating the marriage of President Museveni, when they are very well sure that it has been surviving because of our of our taxes. And
but there are very many marriages even with money, and they have broken down. So I don't see that link.
So that's what I want to tell you, that for me, I want to celebrate the marriage of every Ugandan who has been a hustler, even if it survived 1 day or 1 hour or 3 months or 1 year. Me, I celebrate your marriages because you hustled your way to that 1 day. Leave alone these two Bazeis and Mukade who are every day spending 1,000 millions of our taxes in that simple state house.
Okay.
So I really want to wish you a good cruising, but I can't go without mentioning this, that on Monday my president is in Imbarara. A good thing the VP is
the
here.
VP will have
She
to.
will give the
yes.
details.
Let's
But I
take a
want
break.
to invite the abajunurwe na nabatajunurwe aharwo kubanza muje turebe umushana.
Let's take for a break, and when we come back, Honorable Jode Mujisha is with us in the building. She will be able to let us know the engagement on Monday. But as we go into a topic of discussion, we are talking about how prepared the different political actors as we gear up to the 2026 general election. My name is Wes Gibanyaji. Don't leave your radio. We'll be back after a short bumper. Good morning.
It's tough, it's bold, it's real politics. The Big Seat on 91.2 Cruise FM. Great music,
Great music.
great friends.
Great friends.
It's real politics. The Big Seat on 91.2 Cruise FM. Great music,
Great music.
great friends.
Great friends.
Twenty-four minutes past 9 o'clock. My name is Wes Gibanyaji. Good morning, and you'll be able to catch us online on www.cruisefm.com/stream, and Cruise TV is where you can be able to view and enjoy the television there on YouTube and TikTok. Now, we'll be able to join the conversation on 752-912-912 and 780-912-910. I want to appreciate every ardent listener of the Big Seat. There are a couple of people that make a date with us every Saturday 9 a.m. to 11. And for you, never miss every border person, every supermarket, every petrol station, all people that always walk around with their radios because of this show. We want to appreciate you very much, and we keep doing this because of you. With me in studio is Honorable Jode Mujisha, who is the Deputy President of the National Unity Platform in Western Uganda. Mr. Simwebanjizi Nicholas, who is a member of the National Resistance Movement, but he wants it known that he belongs to the MK movement. Mr. Peter Mpaka, he is a member of the National Unity Platform, and Comrade Musa Twatanese, who is into the communications of the MK movement in Western Uganda. All right, I welcome you, the team, so much. Please give the communication coming on our social media handles. X, 912 Cruise FM, that's Twitter, and then on Facebook 91.2 Cruise FM. You'll be able to join in and we get to catch up and talk about the issues that matter to us. Our topic of discussion this morning is the road to 2026 general elections. We know that the NUP will be planning to host, to do literally a nationwide campaigns and mobilization and engagement. We have the right people in the building to be able to let us know about that. But how prepared is the NRM and the MK movement as regards to the upcoming election is a matter for us to debate. Honorable Joel Mjisha, good morning and welcome to the Big Set. We are celebrating 50 years of the marriage of Janet Kataha Museveni and Yoweri Kaguta Tibhabwa Museveni. Any message to the couple?
Good morning, listeners. Good morning, Mr. Wanyaji. Good morning, friends here on the panel. And good morning, Ugandans out there. I have been introduced. My name is Joel Mgisha, the Deputy President of National Unity Platform and a resident of Mbarara here. Well, the message to the couple is that as they enjoy their sleep in those beautiful beds bought by taxpayers' money, they should remember that other couples also want to enjoy the kind of peace and love and intimacy peacefully, because I know in their 50 years of marriage there are many couples that have been deprived of that because their husbands who have been killed under their arm. There are many wives who have been left widows here and there. So I am saying that in the next, I don't know how many years which God has given them, they should consider that other people also want to enjoy the kind of intimacy and love and peace and not to enjoy from the grave. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Now going back, where are we?
But maybe to let you know that since President Museveni has been in power for about 37 years, even without taxes, honestly, this cattle keeper could afford a very comfortable life, to be honest.
There are many Ugandans who can afford the same kind of life, right?
Yes.
Very many. Even young people like my son there and my son-in-law here. There are very many people who could enjoy, but then they are deprived. Their lives are in danger all the time. Others are in detention. Others have been killed. You know that. And that's exactly what I'm talking about. While they have their personal money, in addition to what we give them,
yes,
they should remember that people have just one life. And as much as they enjoy, other people should be allowed to enjoy as well.
All right.
And children should have fathers. Okay. Wives should have husbands. And mothers and fathers should have their sons and daughters.
Okay.
Just as their family is still complete, they should allow other families also to be complete and complete all those 50 years.
Okay. Thank you, Honorable Jolly. Maybe to that now, the topic of discussion. How prepared is the NUP as we head up to the 2026 general elections? Because we know that the Electoral Commission handed in a budget proposal of 1.3 trillion Ugandan shillings to plan and, be able to prepare for the upcoming elections. We literally 2 years shy of that election. How prepared is your camp for the 2026 election?
Before I come to being prepared or not being prepared, Ugandans know the kind of political terrain we are working in. When I came in, I found my mayor Mpaka here announcing that our president, His Excellency Bobi Wine Kyagulanyi Ssentamu Robert, the president of NUP, is coming to visit Western region. His first leg of preparedness is bringing him to Western region. Now, when you see, just by looking at me, you can see I am just about to explode. You know why? Because the venue where we had booked to receive the president to meet his people and get prepared in response to the call by Electoral Commission. The RDC, is he RCC, whatever, that Mr. Mwesige has been chasing the man. Yesterday, he actually detained him the whole day, and the man has written and called me and told me that he is bad. The school has been threatened to closure because they are going to host Kyagulanyi. Now, in an environment like that one, how do you get prepared? Do they want political parties to exist? Did they really open for them? You know what they are doing? Reminds me of a story they used to tell us long ago of a stepmother who had a daughter, and she found another daughter, and her daughter was ugly, and the older daughter of the former wife was more beautiful. So every morning she would get up, you know, when the girls reached the age of marriage, she would get up, get soil, get ash, get cow dung, and smear the beautiful girl who was not her daughter, and then get perfume, get, I don't know, powder, movie and lipstick, and really try to beautify her own daughter, and then, you know, put them on display by the wayside. Then whenever people, you know, passed by, she would ask, you guys, who is more beautiful among these? You know, the people would say, but I think this one who is smeared with cow dung is more beautiful. But because you have decided to interfere with her beauty, well, but even if you try, this one of yours is really ugly. Now, that's exactly what is happening in this country, because they have opened for political party. Besides that, I see MK here, this Banji's man, and the other one here. For them, they have been transversing this country. There is nowhere they have not been. And they are following a serving soldier who has not even followed any law. The man is the son of the president. Fine. We all don't have to be produced or sired by Mr. Museveni. No. We are Ugandans and we belong to this country. Now, somebody, you say that you have opened for political parties. EC has opened the roadmap. Now political parties are beginning to engage. Now you send your goons to go and intimidate people. I mean, how prepared can we be in such a circumstance? I already have a letter here on my phone. The head teacher, because we wanted to use the field of Global High School. There it is near. There are so many functions that have taken place in that place every other time, and in fact very soon you'll see even Barokore, very many of them, over thousands of people, you know, access that place and use it for their own purpose, as long as they agree with the institution. Now we have already paid our money to the institution. The administration has accepted. We wrote to the police. We delivered the letters. The secretaries received the letters. They refused to stamp them. Now there has been meetings and meetings and meetings. It looks like when Kyagulanyi says, I am going to step in Mbarara, then cat, do they call it cat, is let loose. I mean, I don't understand what kind of games of politics these people are playing. So that is the kind of arrangement now all which we have. But I want to assure Ugandans, come rain shine, this man, Mr. Musinguzi, honorable, you know, the Banyankore called him Musinguzi because we are really in danger and we need somebody to get us out of this crap. I'm calling it crap. This crap these guys are driving us in. Come rain or shine, Mr. Musingu's Honorable Kyagulanyi Sentamu is here on Monday, and the next day he's going to be in Fort Portal. The third day he's going to be in Kasese, and he will be in Kabare and complete his western leg. I'm praying to you Ugandans, please come and join us. Number one, to pray for this country, because the dogs have not come to, I mean, the country has not gone to the dogs like that is normally said. But this time, the dogs have come to the country and they are devouring it under your watch. So Ugandans, come up and pray for this country. Come up and join us. We must liberate this country from the hands of the predators.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Oh, thank you, the Deputy President of the National Unity Platform. Musa Tukwatanuse. You've been all over the country. The last time I checked, you were in Arua. You are in all these places. You are in Kabare. You went all these places, traversing the country, spreading the gospel of Muhoozi Kainerugaba for president 2026. And you've not been limited to any degree. We've seen division commanders attend some of your rallies. We've seen politicians, members of parliament. The last we saw your leader being the chief guest at a place where there was a convention of members of parliament, literally invited by the Speaker of Parliament. You've been given legroom to really exercise your right as Ugandans. How does it make you feel when you hear Madame Jolie Mugisha say all these things of the apparatus and the machinery that has been set up to frustrate their mobilization drive? Do you think it should be right for all of us as Ugandans to enjoy equal rights within the law?
Thank you so much, my brother Banyaji. First of all, I want to not have a biased discussion, but a balanced discussion. First of all, we agree that the MK movement has been traversing the country, and luckily enough, when we were we started from Arua, that is the West Nile. I was there. When we went to Sebei, I was there. When we went to Kabala, I was there. When we went to Kituguma, I was there. When recently we were at Antamongi's place, Bukedia, from Bukedia we went to Soroti, I was there personally, and I've always been there. So I agree that we have been given a platform to move in the capacity of General Muhoozi Kainerugaba, moving as a senior presidential advisor on special operations to champion the NRM manifesto 2021-26, that is alerting Ugandans to embrace government programs of parish development model, of Emyoga, of youth livelihood programs, and ensuring that our youth come on board. And I must say that as a senior presidential advisor, General Muhoozi Kainerugaba, he has perfectly done the job of ensuring that whatever the NRM manifesto says 2021-26 is put in implementation. So I credit him for that. And I must say that whatever we do is always in line with the Ugandan. Please, I am on the topic. Whatever we do is in the line with the Constitution of the Republic of Uganda, because
Get nearer.
as per the Constitution of Uganda.
Point of order. If we are debating, I think the question put to Musa Tukwatanise was, how do you feel when the vice president, the deputy president of the NUP, is narrating a story where she's being hampered with her program, not him coming here to promote his de facto generator? Yes.
That's where I'm heading.
He should really tell us how does he feel.
It's that's a preamble. Okay.
Exactly. I must say that all I am saying is a fact that we have done all that, and as of now, through general
Many parishes have you reached and given money so far?
so far I must say
PDM?
that countrywide every district has received PDM money, and as of now Ugandans appreciate that. At least even if we are out of air and we go outside, you will hear people saying at least PDM will work. At least PDM will work, because it has now come to everyone's concern that we must embrace PDM, we must sensitize Ugandans to embrace PDM. And back to the question posed to me about the National Unity Platform moving, I must say that the
not the only NUP, the different
all political parties and political actors actually, as per the Electoral Commission program, since it released the roadmap, I must say that National Unity Platform as a registered party or any other party, NRM, FDC, they must be given a platform to engage Ugandans, and Ugandans in 2026 make a collective decision. We don't want this of saying that the people of MK movement have been given enough platform, and so that's what has favored them to win us. We want the NUP, and I can assure you, the people of MK movement, because we are the majority and we are in mobilization in this. we are not ready to disturb people of Nup when they are moving. We say, please do your work, mobilize. For us, we are waiting for you in 2026 in the ballot. And I can assure them, we shall win them. So the security and all other agencies, to me as a person, as a the political antidote, and a member of the General MK movement, I say they should give the National Unity Platform a chance to engage Ugandans. Then we meet in 2026 in the ballot. We show them that Ugandans know what we call an ideology and just political propaganda. And they can.
It's tough. It's bold. It's real politics. The Big Seat on 91.2 Cruise FM. Great music.
Great music.
Great friends.
Great friends.
The Big Seat on 91.2 Cruise FM. Great music.
Great music.
Great friends.
Great friends.
Welcome back. It's about 18 minutes to the top of the hour on Western Uganda's biggest radio station, 91.2 Cruise FM. Great music, great friends. Good morning. My name is Wesige Banyaji. The Big Seat is on. You'll be able to watch it on Cruise TV, on YouTube and TikTok. The team is in the house and we're talking about the road to 2026 general elections. Deputy President, National Unity Platform, Honorable Jordan Mujisha, Mr. Asim Webanjuzi, Mr. Peter Mpaka, Musa Tukwatanese. Let me come to you, Comrade Asim Webanjuzi. We know for sure that the Uganda People's Congress and the Democratic Party are now just political parties in the really for the name of it, but not in the true sense of the matter, because they have barely been incorporated within the national resistance movement. Going into the 2026 general election, you've muzzled these political parties. Literally, they cannot survive. We've had the narrative of the deputy president of NUP. In the deepening and growth of our democracy, wouldn't you think it right that as a legacy for His Excellency General Yoweri Kaguta Museveni is to leave the stage when they are entrenched, grown, developed political parties, rather than having to incorporate them under one umbrella, the NRM, and no one to really create the checks and balances of the incumbent political party?
Thank you, Banyaji. One, every serious democracy needs a strong opposition. Why? We all know a strong opposition would be in position to offer the alternative agenda. A strong opposition would be in position to keep the government in power on their toes, working in regards to service delivery. A strong opposition gives an alternative to the citizens during elections if they feel that maybe these guys in power have not kept their end of the bargain. Unfortunately, Banyaji, politics, it's like football. I, for one, I would strongly advise all our security agencies to allow NUP welcome their president in Imbara, because the constitution gives them the mandate. In 2005, we held a referendum that where the majority of Ugandans overwhelmingly voted in favor of multi-party political dispensation in this country. It's a constitutional right. The Electoral Commission is established by an act of of parliament. The roadmap is out. We need a fair ground to compete. Whatever NRM, MK movement is allowed to do, let even NUP be given the same space. On the issue of the venue, me, I would advise my dear deputy president of NUP in Western Uganda and my brother Ampaka, Global High School, the location is in the business center of Mbarasite. Honestly speaking, with the current economic crisis, we survivors, we hustlers in Mbarasite, it's not fair for us to lose one full day.
But it's not going to escapism, because we know we know these players within the opposition have been able to get venues that are really scattered off the central business
Banyaji,
district,
it's on
and they've
record.
been frustrated. So it should be debated as a matter of principle.
Yeah,
If they took their rally in Chamgoran at the pitch, will they be accepted because it's off town? Do you think?
absolutely, really? Because it's on record in 2021. His Excellency Bobby Wine Kyagulanyi came to Mbara and he was hosted. He had a mammoth crowd in Kacheka. No one interfered. So when security guides, okay, let them oblige. And honestly speaking, the way Musa has said, yesterday he interfaced with Riso. He said their function will go on. Recently, His Excellency Bobby Wine was in Jinja. They held successful rallies in Busoga region. Security did not intervene. We even saw some MPs switching from other parties joining NUP. So, I mean...
This is an exaggeration, you think?
To me, they always want to get sympathy from the citizens.
Mr. Banyaji,
And honestly speaking, world over, let us appreciate. For instance, see what's happening in Kenya. We are not proud of it. When you move to Tanzania, it's only of recent that they gave them some small breathing space in regards to opposition. Here in Uganda, the kind of freedom that our opposition brothers and sisters have. When you talk of DP, UPC being in the same bed with NRM, Banyaji, me, I want us to promote politics. No, listen, let us be civil. You see, interestingly, you guys, no, let us be civil. When you guys are submitting, I always keep quiet. No, why are you making noise? Wait for your time. No, it's not trash. Take it or leave it. And we must
let's have order. Asimwe. Let's have order.
Disrespect.
No, but she asked a literal question.
When you ask, you keep quiet and they answer you.
Okay, Honorable Johnny, let him answer.
Ask and then answer yourself.
Okay, go ahead.
That's indiscipline. And that's the reason as why some Ugandans don't even feel safe to entrust leadership with these opposition guys if they cannot exhibit basic civic
tolerance.
Then how will they manage the affairs of this country? So what I was coming to is in conclusion, one thing, me as a Ugandan concerned, wishing well this country, we should not promote politics of identity. Let us promote politics.
But who is promoting politics of identity, really?
You asked a question about UPC and DP.
Yes.
The moment you are in a party and you find maybe your ideology is resonating well with another party, what's wrong with joining forces to advance the same cause? That's one. Two, even in opposition, we've seen these alliances. When you go to Kenya, even these guys in opposition, it's because they never want to agree and field similar candidates, whereby they would stand better chances of performing well in these elections if they could agree in each constituency to field the same candidate. Then fast forward on the issue of the roadmap and the budget, Banyaji. Honestly speaking, one of the things that I don't agree with my government, these technocrats are taking us for a ride. Every government activity, it becomes a project for them to make money. What are they telling me? Demarcating new constituencies. These new constituencies are already administrative areas in different regions, because we know they will just say a certain parish X and maybe division X, we are splitting this into two. Do you need money to do that? Because they are already gazetted.
No, but you will need manpower.
You need
to
manpower
really conduct business
but
in those.
when you look at the breakdown of Banyaji, it does not make sense. When you tell me capturing prisoners in two, the electoral commission register for them to start voting, when you tell me Ugandans in the diaspora, you don't need a lot of money in this modern age and era.
Okay.
Even if you open the portal like for the Ugandans in diaspora, because they have access to internet, they would be in position to register, and you can easily verify whether they are Ugandans or not looking at their passport numbers, because these passports are issued by so the budget of 1.3 with the current economic crisis that we are having here is too much. Then finally, I will say this again and again, at the current time when donors are running away, fine, we shall survive without World Bank aid. We don't need more administrative units. Actually, EC should have made a proposal. Maybe let's have a referendum and Ugandans decide.
There is already a private member moving a bill before Parliament
to reduce the number of
reduce some of these units.
Yeah.
So will it even see the light of day? Because who is going to legislate against themselves?
From the look of things, by 2026 we are going to have a parliament of close to 600 MPs competing with China that has 1 billion.
Okay, let me bring in.
And they have the resources. Do we have the resources?
Peter
Is
Mpaka.
it sustainable?
Thank you, Asim. Peter Mpaka. As we get into the 2026 general elections, there's a lot of things that have not been resolved. You as political parties, because you're now always knocked out and you say in Isinjiro there was rigging by the National Resistance Movement with the help of the security agencies, but even in those places you don't have agents that can be able to supervise and monitor these activities. Here your deputy president is here. Does the NUP have you built capacity, infrastructure capacity, to actually make sure that your agenda is entrenched in the democratic process of our country, especially now that we know that the only way you can get into power is through elections? There's no two way around it. Peter Mpaka.
Yeah, thank you, SJ. Like you've said, the only way into power is through elections.
As per now, really.
Yes, but I want to ask you, do we have elections in Uganda?
That's why Impuga is the leading opposition figure in parliament, because of an election.
Elections for small fish positions, like being an MP, being a mayor, being an LC1 chairman. When it comes to the superintendent
discussion,
yes,
because I will not agree with a member of the National Unity Platform to stand here and say we don't have elections for the president when they are saying that on Monday their president is starting canvassing the country.
But his own president had 37 point something percent of the election.
Where did he get it from? Avoid confusing people.
Yes, I think you should be guided.
I have a right to my own opinion.
Please go right ahead.
And which I know are the opinions of many Ugandans, because for us here in Uganda, we had a candidate who was putting on bulletproofs while campaigning. We had a candidate who was being shot at. I think over 3 times the tires of his car were shot at. We had a candidate actually here, even here in Mwiz here. We had a candidate who's on his campaign trail, a grenade, was it a grenade or a hand bomb, was thrown at him. We had a candidate whose windscreens were broken by with a bullet. We have a candidate who endured tear gas to its best. We had a candidate whose agents, whom you're asking me about, one was even stepped over at that Busega roundabout. So when he talks about his narrative of elections, I don't think that under Museveni we are having elections. Actually, we are having coups. And as a matter of fact, from us, the NUP, Kyagulanyi Robert Sentamu, ye president of Mulonde. But even before he had 1 day in office, he was already couped. President was actually, for the benefit of the listener, if you understand the way elections are conducted in Uganda, from every election, we upgrade to a higher level of violence. From every successive election, and you wait for 2026. These elections are just there for President Museveni to
legitimize,
to not even to legitimize, but to make out a hybrid of his dictatorship. To just try to say, you see, Mpaka Peter goes on the radio and talks, also Johnny Mugisha goes on the radio and talks, then Musa Tukwatanise also talks about his PDM, therefore we have democracy in Uganda. But here in Uganda, there is no democracy. What we have is a dictatorship, a hybrid dictatorship. So, yes, the NUP has built structures. We have a committee, a mobilization committee that sits in this city, even in these other districts of Western Uganda. We have a whole vice president with an office here in town. But she has told you that even where she wanted to hold a simple mobilization campaign, already the RCC is issuing different orders. She has an office at Makan Singh Street. Do you think we will be allowed even to reach there? So what we have, we will just, for your question, it is an election, but it is a coup. President Museveni is always couping against the people who are elected by Ugandans and putting and entrenching himself in his
Let's
system.
stop for a breather. When we come back into our second hour of the discussion, don't touch your dial. The big set is on. My name is West Givandaji. Good morning.
Get the Kabode Super from 91.2 Cruise FM. Great music,
Great music.
great friends.
Great friends.
Right into our second hour of the show. Thank you so much for keeping it locked here on Western Ghana's biggest radio station, 91.2 Cruise FM. Great music, great friends. It's 2 minutes past 10 o'clock. My name is Wesi Gebanyaji. The big set is definitely on your radio. On Cruise TV, I can see a couple of people that are watching. Ruhangaruho Johan, you're watching the show. Wantonsi Thomas, you're in Banda, Kampala, you're watching. Harry Jesse, you're watching from Himakasese, thank you. Sandy Gilbert, you're in Katete, right here. Robert Babiha in Abu Dhabi. Aiden Dwarf in Comoros. And Moses Atwine, who is in Ibanda. Gentlemen and ladies, thank you so much for catching the show. We have a couple of good messages that are coming in from our people. On Facebook, the conversation is right there. I've put the question of how prepared do you think are these political actors as we gear up to the 2026 general election. Robert Babiha in Abu Dhabi saying the Electoral Commission released a roadmap to where it requested 1.3 trillion so that they can start eating. It would have been reassuring if the Electoral Commission had breached the agreement by the electoral reforms. I think that's a very good point. What comes first? Is it the budget or the reforms that are required? It is Samuel Shuche, you're saying, let me get some of your messages right here. It is Samuel Shuche, you're saying, I think opposition should unite. FDC scandal should stop and unite with the NUP and bring one candidate. That's how they'll be able to win the 2026 election. Musingus Onesimus, you're saying the biggest question is how informed and mobilized are the voters about their rights. It is better to make an early budget, but then the money, what is the money meant to do? This question goes out to everyone in studio. Thank you, Onesimus. Amoros, you're listening again from Kazo, and you're saying preparing as early as possible wouldn't be a problem. But the question is, are they all prepared for what's coming on after the elections? And again, why the highest budget is always put into enforcement? Tuijuche Timothy Omgahe, you're listening again from Rubaga in Kampala. Thank you. I can see the messages. Nawamanya Edson, even before, they could tell us that they are prepared, but when the time of the elections approaches, still we could see a lot of confusion. I think 1.3 trillion is too much money. You're listening again from Kakoba at Bishop Stewart University. Anthony Birunji, political parties are not prepared because there is not democracy in Uganda due to personalization of the armed forces by the NRM that interfere with the opposition political activities. You're listening again from Rubindi. Crescent Saja, keep the messages coming. Anthony Birunji, you're in Kashari, and you're saying they have already prepared, but the confusion in the opposition political parties is letting us down. Andrew Trino, you're saying good morning. We see they are preparing and doing this and that, but we need justice in the coming elections. To the lifeline of the show, the telephone calls on 752-912-912 and 780-912-910. Call in and let us hear from you on 752-912-912 and 780-912-910. The big set.
Yes, the big set.
Yes, good morning.
Good morning, Banyaji.
What's your name and where you at?
Andrew from Kizibala.
Yes, Andrew.
Nimba nimanya punaka ni submission ni chawitera ze mu Nyankole. Yango muntu wituye na shuza ze na manyina aganira. Sasa ngenda kugamba mulamu gwateretera. Yeni ndeba ngo narogo mahano kuturumu mbategana sakaru kenkumi zira mukaga. Yango bakayita kusisana na bwirogo. Abo kumunta ututera karutumanya ngo yasinga tuba kurangira. Kanati bagaruka bateka musende ngo bane bategekana sakaruru. So ndeba ngo ubu mwaje buryaga cyaho. Nuko kujya kwenda kumuntu yagavuye ngo kumuntu wahanga. Baragutereza.
There. 0752-912-912 and 780-912-910. The big set.
Council brother.
Yes, how are you doing, my Mr. LC1 chairperson in Katubana Kamwenje, Mr. Mhedeza?
I'm doing so great.
Good to hear from you, my friend.
Also good to hear from you too.
To the matter.
And recognizing me is always a praise, and I appreciate for that. So this government of ours, brother, I always wonder about it, because when you see that they failed actually to organize these elections of chairman LC1, I was totally surprised about the government. So what is killing our nation, first of all? They are well organized, but the corruption in there between is just killing us. Because you cannot tell me that you have failed that to organize these elections of chairperson LOC1 and LOC2s. Since they are the lowest, they are chairpersons, and you tell me that you want to organize these elections of MPs and members of parliament.
Okay.
Good morning, brother.
Thank you so much for the caller. Let me pick another caller.
It's a very good morning,
Good morning.
We are speaking with Christian from Chimugutungu.
Yes, Christian, thank you.
But I have one point to talk on. The PDM money, it was sent to some people in our village. But not people are just enjoying the money, they are just going in the bars. I think those people are not knowing the reason why they sent that money.
All right, I think we shall be able to send. Thank you, Crescent.
Yeah.
All right. On 752-912-912 and 780-912-910. On X, that's Twitter, Sankara Eldons, you're saying Madame Jolie should even not be complaining, because the moment NUP Broadman came up, we expected such things. There's no democracy in Uganda. The Electoral Commission is just a puppet of the state. Fake system, UN Biharwe. Nahabwe Innocent on X, Twitter, NUP knew that all that would happen. They still push it and have some young Ugandans arrested and others killed. That will earn them sympathy and talkability. How they will always survive? No ideological drive. Thank you. Hearing what the MK representative is saying, I now understand that the birds of the same feathers flock together. Just like the principal, they have nothing developmental they can say. Kendrick Arthur, you're saying on Twitter, the political parties ain't organized at all. The NRM has disorganized, is the most disorganized among them, from UPC to DP now, scandals in FDC. I guess by 2025, NUP may be shaking too. NRM and the Electoral Commission will pass through it as simple as drinking water. Robert Spavia, thank you, my good friend, for his contributing to the show. The Electoral Commission released this election roadmap. Well, I read that on Facebook. Geoffrey, I have Godfrey the man. Uganda has no Electoral Commission, and there is no need for wastage of money in the elections, because it's a one-man's wish and rule. Greetings to all the listeners on radio. Area, this Isaac, thank you. I'll be able to read so many of your messages. Keep them coming. Let me come back to studio. I will also later open the line so that you can be able to contribute by way of call. Honorable Jorem Msha.
Yes, please.
Now that you know that the state is going to come against you, what do you have up your sleeve to really try to navigate the very murky waters and get through to the people that need to get the message?
Well, one of the things we are capitalizing on these days is answering some of the queries that are raised by some naive Ugandans. You have heard from one of the callers who said that we knew, that NUP knew that such things would happen, but they are doing it in order to, attract sympathy, because you know that, you know there are many eating Ugandans, and not fully eating, by the who are depending on crumbs from the table, who will talk like that. So we are not doing it because we want sympathy. No, we are doing it because it is our right to do so. We were organizing a function, not even a function, we were organizing a meeting in the right manner under the law, and we are not doing it so that you can see, but we want the world to know indeed that that the political terrain in this country is very rough, and it is not our fault. You cannot blame us for what NRM is doing. Right? So we are responding to the call of Electoral Commission, because the Electoral Commission said political parties should now go and start organizing themselves for the forthcoming elections. Now we call a meeting, somebody comes and disorganizes us, but because NRM's propaganda has always been that, now the blame, they are pointing the fingers to us for selecting a venue. We don't own any venue. We hire venues. You intimidate everybody, and you don't want people to talk about it, because demonizing other people, demonizing competitors has been Mr. Museveni's strategy. That's why they will come up with things like, hey, those people who drink weed, as if they have seen chambers of weed in our compounds. They will say, those homosexuals, those things of demonizing people, so that others, so that for them they are Mr. Clean all the time, and then they go through after, stealing our votes. What we are doing, we are going to continue. Dear Ugandans out there, please come. The office is at Makansing Street. It is on the street because we don't own any building, unless government, Mr. Museveni's government, is going to allocate us land in Rwachitora and we build there another, another office. But as per now, we are renting offices from, landlords, and we are
even NRM. The party in power is also renting
but honorable Msha.
So that's not new. But it's standard operating.
So when but for you, Mr. Banjizi, are you NRM, the strong NRM, or the mild NRM? Anyway, you need to answer that one.
Now when
which
you
NRM
ask
are you talking about?
When you ask
but
such
I
a
am
question,
saying,
I will also ask the same question to some of the NUP hustlers who are struggling.
Let's allow John. Your message has been put across. Let's allow John. But John,
I know NRM rents an office, right? Yes. And nobody has gone there to interfere with them. We also let them give us space, because constitutionally and under the law, we are supposed to have space to act no matter where we are renting or where we have gotten a place to have a meeting. Nobody should interfere with that one, and we have already demonstrated, especially during elections, that we are not violent. We are not a violent party. We are good, law-abiding citizens. All we want is to have our space so that we can organize our people for the forthcoming elections, for God's sake.
Honorable Jolly, you did not deliver any member of parliament. You as the deputy president of the party in the last elections. Perhaps you could give us a reason as to why you think the party only concentrated in the central region, brought by what quote-unquote people called a political wave. If there is no political wave in the 2026 general election.
For you, what is politics if it is not wave? I mean, time comes. If you were here, I don't know if you were Mr.
What plans do you have to? Yes.
I'm saying, if you were here in 1986 when Mr. Museveni came here, you saw the wave that swept over this country. People, the level of excitement. So politics is a wave, right? And the wave, captivates people and brings them together for a given cause. And that's what happens in all these other political parties. You were here, I don't know how many years ago, when FDC had the wave. That chance that comes and you utilize it. But that doesn't mean ideological bankruptcy, right? We have an idea, we have a political idea, which if we were given an opportunity, would sell to Ugandans, and then they buy us. If they were able to buy us during that time which you are calling a wave, you were here, you saw what happened. I was personally tear gas. In fact, I remember when we were going to Kasese, a policeman threw a tear gas canister in my car, my personal car, River Road, where the president was. The level of intimidation, the violence, the killings, the murder. One time when we were coming from Ntungamo through Isinjiro, we were detained between Masha, those of you who know Isinjiro, there in the valley. We stayed there from 6 6 up to 10 p.m. They kept us there. We couldn't go left. We couldn't go back. You know, you are there.
But Honorable, there are things that
how could you?
Honorable Jolly,
how could we have been able, you know, to get a member of parliament in a circumstance that you know happens in this
Honorable Jolly Mjisha, there are things that even when the NRM is very strong and incorporated with the state, intertwined with the state, they will not choose for you who you will make a candidate in an election.
You want to tell me that we didn't have candidates?
There are positions where you did not have candidates in Western Uganda. Is it because the NRM deemed it, or it was out of your own making as a political party?
I am going to answer you, Mr. Banyaji, with another question.
Yes.
Does NUP produce, you know, candidates, children whom they nurture to become candidates? Where we had candidates, because for one to become a NUP candidate, first of all, you must demonstrate that you are interested in running for such a post, right? And in Western region, I still was in charge of those candidates where people demonstrated that they wanted.
Did you facilitate them?
Yes, we did, with nomination fees, and where we could, we supported them. Remember, we were just 2 months old and we were running against a regime that is so hostile. How else could we have campaigned for our candidates? In areas like Kasese, we had candidates.
Allow her conclude.
Listen, in every area constituency, we had a candidate. In Mbarara here, we had candidates. My mayor, right here, Mr. Mpaka, is here. He was my mayor candidate.
Rejected by
right?
Mbara citizens.
Yes, he was my candidate, and you know very well what transpired here. In Mbarara South, we had a candidate. Mbarara City, Mr. Bright,
and Bright Mbarara did very well.
Mbarara North, we had a candidate. In the names of what's his
but
name?
Western Uganda does not stop on Mbarara.
Yes.
We should go as far as in Toroko.
Do you know that even in Itsoro today, I have a red councillor for LC5 in Itsoro. If you think we didn't have candidates, in Mitoma we had a woman candidate, because that you see. In most cases,
yes.
Let me come back now. I was in overdrive,
hey.
But let me come back.
Yes.
You see,
hey.
Usually what happens, people judge, make comments, they make judgments when they are not directly, involved in a kind of thing that is taking place. That's why the Banyankore have a proverb that says that those who are not involved, if you are not in the wrestling, in the struggle, you already think that the opponent is weak, and then you say, hey, why don't you throw down that small man and we go away, we move. You Mpaka, why don't you throw away this man? Kumbe, the other man is so strong. So that is what is happening to you people here, especially my colleagues here in the studio. For them, because they want the world to hear, to know that they are supporting. You have had what is my colleague's name there?
Musa Tukwatanse.
You have had Tukwatanse saying that he's in West Nile. He has been to Arua. I don't know. He has been to Parsa. He goes. He transverses. Teaching people how to use money for parish development. And I want to ask, surely Tukwatanse here. Whom does he know in West Nile that he's going to modernize? Whom does he know in Parsa? But for him, because he thinks he's not playing from offside, then the referee is pushing him and facilitating him, and when he has eaten and he's barging, he wants to show us that after all, there is life here. And
all right, thank you.
Will not buy
thank you, Honorable Jody. Nkwanga Faz, the winner of Kafurwa Wino, sends me a message saying, Mrs. Jody, fairness is only in heaven. Go to the bush and fight. And I have Cubs who is in Intungamo. Thank you, Cubs, for listening to the show. Banini, Dixon, you're saying Honorable Jody should be realistic. NUP in Greater Kashari was not facilitated. The candidates withdrew. Let's hit a short bumper. We'll be right back after the commercial break. But I have my people in Makansing that are locked into the show Alex, Pelon, Kagahe, Joshua, and all the competitors at Victor Wana Makansing. Thank you so much for blazing it loud on the big set. Let's stop for a break. When we come back, we'll be able to pick your feed on social media, but the telephone calls, keep them coming on 752-912-912 and 780-912-910. The big set. West Gabanyas is my name. Good morning.
It's tough. It's bold. It's real politics. The Big Seat on 91.2 Cruise FM. Great music.
Great music.
Great friends.
Great friends.
All of today's hit music.
All the hits, one station.
This The Big Seat on 91.2 Cruise FM. Great music.
Great music.
Great friends.
Great friends.
We are back literally on our final lap of the show. Thank you so much for holding up real good up to where we are. It's 25 minutes past 10 o'clock here on Western Uganda's biggest radio station, 91.2 Cruise FM. Great music, great friends. My name is West Gebanyaji. Mukamat Kwase Levis in Kakoba Rwentondo. I want to appreciate you so much for listening to the show and all of you that are catching it from wherever that you are. But special shout outs to the online audience on cruisefm.com/stream and on Cruise TV, courtesy of Creative Digital Media. Now, more on your feed on Twitter, you're saying Isinjiro's finest. I salute every participant in the house. Jordan Mujisha said everything she left like is interfering with someone's time. That's why I don't like new. They think they are special. Anyway, thank you. Kendrick Arthur, you're saying the NUP guy is merely jealous. No matter what, how you hate Museveni's marriage is still something to celebrate. Alan Bachinians are saying, in my view, Uganda's electoral commission is not independent and there is no democracy in Uganda. We have seen the police brutality to the opposition in the past elections, and the same will happen in 2026. What's on paper is totally different from the action. Sunday, Mobese, you're saying, of course, you know the procedures in giving out something, not even something, but order to who will be the current Chigundu to give out someone's results. And let me end with TM99, Mwesigwa Enoch. You're saying regards to Fami. Oh, well, thank you. Let me come to Musa. Musa Tkwatane, we literally, because now the biggest problem that I think Uganda is faced is that politics has become the center stage and literally consumed every person. We never leave the election. We voted in 2021 and fast forward real quick, we are into 2026. Do you think as a country we've been able to allow the institutions to flourish, to grow? We've allowed the NRA manifesto to be implemented, or we've seen literally gone up to Parliamentary Avenue and been politicking the whole time, and there is nothing that Ugandans can be able to celebrate about service delivery in this term, even before it's concluded. Musa.
Thank you so much, my brother. First of all, when you look at what Mzee Museveni has always said, he has always emphasized that there should be time for politicking and time for working. And after 2021 general elections,
you especially the Muhoozi movement, you went
NRM
geared up for the campaign.
Had a manifesto, and the manifesto in simple term is that commitment NRM made to the people of Uganda, and people were convinced to vote it into power. So from after elections, this is now the time for manifesto implementation. Where manifesto implementation, we must bring whatever was in manifesto into reality. And how? We must fight for poverty from Ugandans. We must ensure that our young people get jobs. We must ensure that services are provided, electricity, water, health, education. Must ensure that all those are worked on. And now it's incumbent upon Ugandans to always seek for accountability from the leaders. And that's why we have always been moving, and we are still moving. I must say we have not yet stopped. We are moving. We have just started. We must alert all Ugandans to make sure that leaders.
Why don't you first resign from the army? Why don't you retire from the army?
I must say that Mr. Banyaji, don't force General Muhoozi Kainerugaba to retire from army to implement to exercise his role as a senior presidential advisor on special operations. Because when he was appointed, nobody stopped him. Even when General Katumba was appointed, when he was still serving, he served. We have seen very many generals being appointed and serving when they are still serving. So he's the senior presidential advisor on special operations.
Musa, by the mandate given to him as the senior presidential advisor on special operations, he can even make political statements if he has been delegated by His Excellency. We've seen General Katumba Wamala do the same, JJ Odong do the same, David Muhoozi under their mandate as cabinet ministers.
Don't you find it problematic that in other countries we can cite, for example, our neighbors in Kenya, the military is completely away from the politics of the country. Theirs, the mandate is very clear under their statutes, that as it is to provide stability, peace, security, and protect the sovereignty of the country. Not to be engaged in the politics and who is who in what. Don't you think you've spoiled our country to pull it down that the army officers that we must respect are mingled in the dirty politics of the country, and you have representation in parliament? You literally have a police state. You have the military being in charge of literally everything.
Mr. Banyaji,
the presence of MP, 10 military MPs in parliament representing the interests of UPDF, it's a provision of an act of parliament.
Yes, it may be a creature of parliament.
It's constitutional.
That is a given. But who creates it?
It's so if you are to blame,
also answer this. Who represents the prisons and the police?
That's a question that should be answered by parliament. That's one. Because for us as Ugandans, we entrust our MPs to do 4 cardinal roles as our representatives. Represent us in parliament, voice our issues, registration, budget appropriation, and oversight, to check the excessive powers of the executive. So we expect all the 3 arms of government to be independent. If they fail to exercise the mandate given to them by the constitution and by Ugandans, say the parliament, like this week, Banyaji, I was very disappointed in regards to the digital number plate scam. I would call it a scam, because if you find the executive, the different ministers themselves are not agreeing, the 3 of them that have issues to do with these number plates. General Jim Mwezi is giving a different narrative. Kahindo Tafire, the Minister of Internal Affairs, has a say in regards to these number plates because it's the safety of Ugandans and it's his mandate. He tells you, I know nothing absolutely. Then Parliament is trying to investigate, to do their due diligence and oversight role, and the Speaker comes up, says, this committee, stop here. We've seen similar scandals.
Mr. Banyaji.
No, let me tell you this. I always tell Ugandans. No, I'm not diverting you, Mama Jory. You see, when it comes to issues of national importance, national security, they cut across. Whether I'm NRM or not, we must be objective. We've seen similar scandals. Say about the Rubowa Specialized Hospital. Up to now, we've not yet gotten our value for our taxes. When you go into the sports sector, the other day MPs, politicians were all basking in glory about the gold medal that was won. But is government investing enough? You see, so these are some of the questions that I expect our brothers and sisters in opposition to be asking, but they never ask them. And that's the reason as to why one of the listeners sent a message saying the opposition themselves are very disorganized and we don't think they will soon.
Now, does that give you a green light to not to serve Ugandans? Because
no, I'm not saying that. All I'm saying is how I wish they would put their house in order. In my opening remarks, I said it and I will say it again. Me, as a Simon Nicholas Vanges Bani, I would be happy to have a very strong opposition that will keep.
But how will it be strong when you're not allowing them to mobilize to build structures?
Yes. I think we have been diverted from the question. The question was why are we moving as the MK movement and when shall it stop? I must say that General Mhozikinergaba, and you have said that why is he doing it in uniform, not retiring? I must say that General Mhozikinergaba, first of all,
what is he doing
as a senior presidential advisor on special operations?
But you stated that before.
And secondly, when you read the constitution, I must say that we have always read the constitution in isolation.
Inquiry,
of articles to the other. First of all, yes, we must appreciate. We must appreciate. Please, can you?
Musa. Yes, Madam.
I just want to know from him, the forerunner or the runner of MK project. What exactly? I want you to inform Ugandans what exactly is General Mhozi. What is he doing? What does he tell Ugandans? I see him stammering, I see him struggling, but nothing comes out. What exactly does he get out there to tell them? Me, I have not heard. So I'm also Ugandan.
Thank you so much. I must appreciate that. If at all I am to analyze a speech by speech, where
I think if General Mhozi is not as charismatic,
he says this and this and this.
Oh, okay.
His message is very clear.
One,
he informs young people that our leaders are meant to give us accountability on what they do for us. Secondly, he encourages young people to embrace government programs and come out boldly to sue or to tell Ugandans those people who steal our money. Actually, when we were in Kabare, he made it clear that let the youth embrace programs. Then if there are some people who are swindling our money, they should be brought to books, and him as a general and as a senior presidential advisor on special operation is ready to fight corruption. Mr. Mayaji, let me conclude with this because I must say it. You have said that General Mhozi, I must say that the constitution of Uganda guarantees the UPDF to be non-partisan. That is number one. Number two, it must be productive. There is no way a UPDF officer will be productive when he's not engaging people in productive work in developments of the country. So allow people to engage. Allow the UPDF officers to engage Ugandans in productive work.
Thank you,
we need an enlightened community.
Thank you.
Tell that one to the people. Why doesn't he tell the army? And then they go out and work.
Thank you, Madam. Let me engage Peter here. Peter, the stakes the stakes towards getting into any political position. We know very well that now we have a team of people in Mbarara that are traversing the city, spreading and perhaps meeting the people, telling them what they think they should be able to bring to the table. The expectations of the people of Mbarara, let's really put it into context. The people in Mbarara and the people that are vying for these positions, there are now a whole lineup of people coming to represent the people of Mbarara in parliament. And we know very well that the turnover of these members of parliament is very high. You have almost 80% of them not making it to parliament, having sold cows, having sold land, having gotten kafuna, having gone through a lot of costs to go to parliament. The stakes. All the way I started being, a spectator of the politics of this country from 1996. I have never, ever, maybe because I was younger, where people just have to surrender all that they have in life and even go to the extremes to even go to parliament or be councillors. How far will we go as a country to have the electoral process have so much high stakes?
Thank you, West J. You see, every time you ask me a question, it recites my mind to the superintendents of this country, because that's where everything that is wrong begins. Because the politics of Uganda is too much commercialized because of the statements of His Excellency President Museveni. Because when somebody stands and says, I don't mind the substance or the character of the person you send to me in parliament, as long as this person is able to vote. So you will have people coming up, whether they qualify or they don't qualify, whether they are worth or they are not worth. They will come and buy people, they will sell their lands, they will do everything they want because they are dying to go there in parliament. Because the part of it is that the politics have become kind of a business. The deals we are seeing in parliament, like Banjis has just submitted about the digital number plates. You don't know who is the Minister of Internal Affairs, doesn't know, this one doesn't know. There is a cocoon of people who are in a deal, maybe together with the speaker, trying to make money and squeeze Ugandans to the corner. So for me, I would want to encourage the listener that is listening, that if you have a vision, the election gives you a platform. That's why we participate, because you guys had earlier asked me that then why did you participate in the election? The election simply gives us a platform to pass a message of redemption to Ugandans, to give them hope, to tell them that you guys, this is ill, this is ill, this is ill, this is not right, or this is right, this is right. So for me, I don't want to say that people should give up on their visions. I don't want to say that people should not participate in the election. But my point is that be ready, but weigh whichever candidate comes. Look at what they are presenting before you. Look at what they have. And also the candidates, really. For me, I think that if you've been following, like you've been saying, that it's very important that we also have a vision. For example, the MP that we have here, you Central did to Mbarara City. We have an MP who went and all the things he could do, he brought us sugarcane. The sugarcane are rotting in the gardens. They are not even coming up.
Who is that?
The MP of Mbarara City North, the division.
The Honorable Mwesigo.
Yes. So it's an insult to constituents. So for me, I think really abantu be value your vote, value the message that a person is bringing to you.
All right, let's stop up for a break. When we come back, more of your feedback after the commercial break. Good morning.
It's tough, it's bold, it's real politics. The Big Seat on 91.2 Cruise FM. Great music.
Great music.
Great friends.
Great friends.
The Big Seat on 91.2 Cruise FM. Great music.
Great music.
Great friends.
Great friends.
17 minutes to 11 a.m. Thank you so much for those that have contributed to the show. My name is Westige Banyaji. It's been fantastic here with the 4 in studio and the team from Creative Dictum Media for doing a fantastic job. For the MVPs as well as those that send us messages, let me hear from you on 752-912-912 and 780-912-910. The Big Set.
Brother.
Yes, good morning.
Good morning too.
Yes, what's your name and where are you calling us from?
My name is Akampara Ufuni from Omokashasha.
Yes, yes.
I have called just to thank you for the good program. And we love you, Cruise FM.
Thank you so much. We love you right back.
I have remained as Akampara Ufuni Omokashasha.
All right, Akamp. The Big Set.
Hello.
Yes, good morning.
Good morning, how is it?
I'm doing fantastic.
My name is Kandono Fred Owainai Amajeka Modern Estate Majambara Cooperative College.
Alright.
So I wanted to tell that man whom I don't know. He said last time the president came to Mutumbara and we are not disturbed. Imagine he came from Mutunga Mutumbara. Wanted to pass through Chianza to Kacheka. So he was diverted to a feeder road and I was in Roharo by then. Yagas starts from Moharo to Kacheka. And if they want Yagas to us, let them start from Nyakayo where I'm mine now, because I want to come on Monday.
Alright.
And there is what I wanted to ask the MK movement. How will Museveni come with MK on the same ballot?
Okay.
The Father, the Son, and
the Big Set.
Hello, Banyanji Madilu Hima.
Yes, Madilu niaje.
Mambo ni poa sana, nimetuliza. Mimi nilikuwa na maoni kidogo.
Sorry.
Nasema hivi katika Afrika. Demokrasi yao ni duni sana. Hawafuatilii maneno ya demokrasi, hawajali maneno ya binadamu. Binadamu wanakunywa dia kasi sasa maziwa. Sasa hiyo kitu inanishinda sana. Hakuna ukweli kabisa katika Afrika mzima. East Africa yote iko na ukoloni mbaya, ile ilikuwa ya zamani. Watu wenye walikuwa primitive, hawajali wengine. Lakini kama ingelikuwa na democracy, ingekuwa fair kwa kila binadamu ya nchi yao. Banyanji.
Yes.
Nimekumisi sana na hizo ako wapi, alienda wapi?
Na mimi nimekumisi Madilu wangu. Asante Numadilo on the big set 0752-912-912 and 780-912-912. The two numbers you can be able to reach out on me. Thank you. Good morning.
Good morning, sir.
What's your name?
It's Abdul.
Yes.
Today, let me take my thanks to the program leaders. But in Uganda, politics have turned to be a dirty game.
Have they ever been clean anyway?
Yes. they have ever been clean. But now, Uganda, everyone that joins politics is in his or her own benefit. Like now, when you see Major General Jim Mwezi and Kaindo Tafire, they have brought a program. But no one is yet to sit with another one to see what could be the benefits of the program they are bringing in. Secondly, we have the MK project. Really, can we stand and say Ugandans know what could be the aims of the project?
But the aims are very clear, to take General Muhoozi into the presidency. But I want to thank you so much. We're going into our parting shots. Let me start with Musa Kwatanse. Your parting shot as we get out of here.
Thank you so much, my brother, and thank you to our dear listeners. First of all, the one who has asked that will General Muhoozi Kainerugaba and Mzee Museveni appear on the same ballot, definitely no. General Muhoozi Kainerugaba will be on the ballot as it is written in the Bible under John chapter 10 verse 30. I and my father are one. So us, the Ugandans, can never make a contradiction on those two people. So General Muhoozi Kainerugaba is on the ballot. Mzee Museveni will always be there as our advisor. And I am saying it here. Come 2026, when he is not on the ballot, please ask me. I am telling you what I am sure. Then secondly, I must say that the Constitution of the Republic of Uganda, Chapter 4, Article 43, limits our rights. So as we are enjoying our rights, yes, our members in the National Unity Platform will say it is their right to mobilize, to organize, but as they are doing all that, let them do them in line with the Constitution so that they don't disrupt people's businesses, and police will of course act. So let them act in accordance with the Constitution.
When is Muhoozi coming? When is Muhoozi coming to Mbara?
Muhoozi is soon coming to Ankole sub-region. Actually, we go in sub-regions. So he is soon coming to Ankole sub-region, and the date will be communicated. Thank you so much.
Let me have Peter Mpaka.
Thank you, SJ. Me, I want to tell the listener, please value your vote. The Electoral Commission, which is captured, has given out a roadmap. Please let that time come and use it to determine the destiny of this country.
What about your fellow opposition political players? Because we envision a time where all forces of change are united and literally fronting one candidate to face whether it's General Muhoozi or General Museveni.
Yeah, there are discussions. I wouldn't want to empty or to let the cat out of the bag, but at least I'm aware that there are some internal discussions on which way to go. So we only wait for time to tell. But for me, I would want the listener to understand this, that though we are a captured country, a time will come. There is also a verse Musa Kwatanise was quoting the Bible, but also in the book of Proverbs, it is written that when you squeeze the nose too much, it lets out blood. Me, I believe a day is going to come and the people of Uganda will arise and hold and determine the destiny of this country.
Thank you, Peter.
Otherwise, I still want to kunga Abanyambarara and the areas around Mbarara. Please, on Monday, let's fill the city. It's gonna be red. Mbarara is red.
All right. Thank you. Let me get my friend Sima Bandizi here.
My parting shot is Banyaji. One, there is a season for everything. Ugandans, it's important. The rainy seasons are around the corner. Food security is paramount. And it's very disheartening when you find a young, well-educated, aspiring leader telling people, criticizing a leader that is giving out seedlings, sugarcane, cassava, beans. Let me talk.
Oh my God.
You're putting time.
No. Listen to me. Behave. That's the reason as why people are scared of joining the opposition. You have no discipline.
Let the man defend his colleague.
No, it is.
An attack.
No, let me tell you. Actually, let me put this on record. Mbara State is a political city. Mbara State is a semi-rural urban state.
What is that? Semi-rural urban.
All I'm saying is, Banyaji,
yes.
People have banana plantations. Even here, your neighbor. People are rearing cattle. People
true.
have farms in Mbara. So what's wrong with supporting that socio-economic transformation through giving them seedlings to secure them food security? We spend a lot of money. A lot of money on food. So when someone contributes to food security, when you talk of backyard cottages, value addition, we need these things for production. Right now, I have a friend. He has a contract to export yam, sugarcane, cassava, the ones that are organic, but he can hardly meet his quota. The demand outstrips supply, and someone is here making noise. For us who got them, and finally, as I conclude, the beneficiaries that get those things, when you go to the Chahi, Shasha, Ruenturagara, they are appreciating. You wait in 2026, the People's Court will vote again Rukari, and make no mistake about it, he's going back to parliament, because you see, with the elites, we are the ones betraying this country. Never critique anything concerned with agriculture, because the biggest percentage of Ugandans are directly, indirectly, and we survive and depend on agriculture. That's the reason as why even during COVID lockdown, His Excellency had the luxury of locking us up for 2 years because he knew people had what to eat. If we didn't, they would have burnt this country.
Thank you. Honorable Jordan Mugisha.
Thank you very much. I want to thank the listeners for keeping up. My parting shot is that I want to call upon Ugandans and inform them that Uganda's fate, Uganda's improved livelihood, and Uganda's hope does not only lie on the shoulders of those in opposition. All Ugandans need good hospitals, all Ugandans need good schools, all Ugandans need roads. We all need a good political environment where we can even produce our children and multiply and fulfill God's request or demand that responsibility which he put on us to produce and fill the earth. Now, if you are going to sit back and think that Kyagulanyi and his team in NUP are the only ones who are going to be touched or be concerned with developing Uganda, you better pull up your socks.
All right, thank you.
And then finally, please, NUP has started its western leg of creating its structures and preparing for the forthcoming elections. I'm calling upon all of you on Monday to turn up and hear and participate in developing our election plan for 2026.
Thank you, Honorable.
At Makansing Street first, and then at Global Playground opposite Byamaka Hospital. Clinic?
Thank you.
Kakoba Road.
Thank you. My punchline this week is the Parliament passed the anti-narcotics bill, and it's creating very punitive measures for those that are engaged in eating cards, smoking marijuana, anything. Only setting it for medicinal purposes. How I wish that Parliament interests itself in mental health, because even when you think that marijuana and drug addiction is creating so many mad or lunatics or whatever that you call it on the streets of Uganda, there is a lot that is destabilizing the minds of Ugandans that is not related to drug abuse. Give it time and know what is going on in the lives of Ugandans. We have news at the top of the hour, but I will come back tomorrow for the country show. The Tsawe is back. The Premier League is on. Please take time to listen to the Tsawe. We have the sports news roundup later on in the day with Derek Ashimwe and Abu. My name is Wesige Banyaji. God bless you for this weekend. We are out of here. I want to thank every person that has made it on social media, giving us feedback and the calls. We'll be back next Saturday. Good morning.
The views expressed on this program are not necessarily